So we're here with Bryant Siders. He just flew out here from Cali to the Golden Phoenix Games event. Prior to this event, said, Bryant, we got to go down there, got to show these Southeastern Georgia and Florida players how to do it. Gave him a ticket from Cali to here, and he ended up getting second after Swiss, only to TripleSleeveTCG sponsored player Jonathan Owens. How do you feel, Bryant?
Pretty good. Had a lot of good matchups today. The judges were really nice and cool, so.
All right, and just for reference, this is your first topping of anything.
Yes.
Like ARGs, BCS, BSF, anything.
Yes, I've had no tops before.
Okay, let's see what happens when you put a Cali player with any type of Cali player.
So I start with just the V Series starter for starters. That's pretty simple. Draws you a card, gives you a quick shield if you're going second. Pretty good. So grade 3s, we run 4 Jamio Congo. Puts your opponent down to 6 if he's your first ride. Second ride, it puts him down to 4 for having a grade 3 in Soul.
Nice.
Really broken, considering sometimes they just can't stride because they ditched all their 3s. 4 copies of Thunder Elemental Baragiron. We play the vanilla engine, so it allows us superior ride into him. Then just next turn put him down to 4. They're at grade 2 at that point, and they just cry. 2 of the Crow. His skill is Soul Blast 3, discard 2 Sentinels to gain 15k, bounce their field, and if they bounced at least 1, they discard 5. So oftentimes you can put them down to 0. We play 4 of our Cray Elemental Superior Ride guy, Morowak. Just if you have 4 or more vanillas on field, you can counterblast 1, search for Baragiron, and Superior Ride him, and flip up a Cyclone. 2 Bobo. Bobo is pretty much, if they don't give me damage on Morowak, I can Zarzan early and call Bobo, give me that damage to Morowak and Superior Ride. 2 of the vanilla, really good, just pretty self-explanatory, gets buffed with Cyclone, has a bit of shield, and can be an alternate ride. Now on to grade 1s. We run 1 Tempest Sphere, help us search out vanillas, and give us GB. 1 of the most annoying card ever, Rain Elemental Zarzan. Calls out 2 cards from hand, draws you cards, and flips up the Cyclone. Pretty good. 2 Stealth Rogue of the Night. So if they're Counterblast denying us, but we have Counterblast, we have face down damage, we can get Counterblast back. 4 of the Goat. 3k 2 crit Stealth Beast. Pretty self-explanatory. He gains power from Cyclone, then swings beefy with crit. 2 7k 15k vanillas. 3 Mekra. Pretty much the same thing as the 7k, but with 1k power. So if you're going to call something to board, that's either of those you want to call this. Then 1 of the Spicy Tekken, Neon Gize. He's not our starter.
Why do you run Neon Gize?
So, it's so that I can run other Xerox Dragons and stride on them while I'm on the Baragiron.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically ZOA. Spoiler alert. Then for triggers, we run 4 heal, 4 shove to soul crit, 4 draw PG. And since we don't really have any token generators, we actually run 8 draw so we can call them down and retire them for another card in our stride zone. G zone time. We'll start with the G cards. Got 2 Jinx Stealth Fiend. Really good. Sometimes they don't have any cards in hand because they committed all 4 of their cards to board. And then you're just oh, discard a card? Oh, you can't? 20k. 2 the Rikudo Stealth Dragon guy who he dominates a back row grade 1 and guards with them, so it can help semi get rid of their board if they have boosters, and also can just steal their field. One of this guy, you really only G-guard with him when it's before you ZOA. I mean, before you Jammy, and they have a big hand. He becomes a plus 15k, so gets big. We run one Progenitor. This way, like, after we neg their field, we just neg their board as well and countercharge a bunch. We run, as you could probably guess, 4 Cyclone. He buffs up our vanillas. 2 Jackamoso. Really good card. This is how I win most of my games, by putting them down to 4, then Jackamosoing them for for 5 attacks, all with crits, by calling down the 3 crit guy, and then bouncing them and calling them back while they're buffed up by Cyclone. Murkrow. He is another board wipe for the matchups where they can build a board and you want to get rid of their board for while they're at limited hand, and just helps curve aggression. Mugen Lord Dagoku. Most of the time when you go into him, it's for when you have Crow at the ready, so you could just be like, okay, call 2, now you have a board, Crow, you're down to 0. Drachma. So, Drachma is really good because while you're on Jamio Congo, they're at 4. That puts them down to 1 and makes them force a reride, and oftentimes they do not keep too many grade 3s in hand because they're afraid of guarding with only 4 cards in hand, so you could potentially just reset them. And then ZOA. So what I like to do with this guy is call out Crow while they have a limited field and just Crow away their hand and win the game.
How many times did this come up today?
Today I actually won my games against a Gold Paladin player by doing this. He was at 0 damage the whole game, and he had 1 unit left on board because I kept attacking his rears, and I went into ZOA, called out Crow, and just got rid of his hand.
Nice. All right, man. So what did you think of the overall event, and like any shout outs you want to give?
The overall event was really good. I'm glad I actually joined it. I was debating on not. Shout outs, I would like to give a shout out to Justin Dunbar, Matt Dompe from TripleSleeveTCG, as well as Jonathan Owens for helping me playtest a lot. Yeah. And all the boys back home at Tulare. So.
All right, dope. All right, thanks, man.
Thanks.